This is just Zach and Spiritual.
It's more than if we observe behaviors are going the way that we don't want. So if somebody is suddenly decreasing their physical activity or decreasing their consumption of fruit and vegetables or wasting more food, then that's a discussion point around, well, what could an organization or a council or a government or whoever it might be actually do to prevent that negative change and shift it towards positive behavioral change?
Great. I think we've got a pretty good overview to that sort of your research there. Is that something that you've continued to work towards in that sort of area? And if so, did you want to give us a bit of an inside scoop as to what you're working on now?
Yeah, so this is exactly what I've been, where the connection with social marketing at Griffith Group came, because I had this thinking and this model that I was working in the retail space around predicting people's change and determining whether that was driven by marketing activities. And if we think about social marketing as a context, and I'll preface this with I'm not a social marketer or social marketing expert, but it's about, from my understanding, applying marketing ideas to positive behavioral change, right? And so that is the area that we're working on collaboratively of going, well, can we get better understanding of who has been impacted by this social marketing campaign and why? So something that you see from a lot of these things is they work for some people and not for others. If we could get a better understanding of what the individual characteristics are of why this person changed and that person didn't as a result of a campaign, then we can either better target people next time or we can better design the campaign to account for a broader variety of people. So the paper we just published as an example, we found that one of the big predictors of whether this campaign to reduce food waste was effective or not was about whether people had access to a garden. So if they were living in a house that had a garden, then they were more likely to improve their behavior than if they didn't. And so as part of that, I guess, when we go back and think about it, is around, well, the access to, compost, for example, or that they're living it. Maybe that's a proxy for the type of suburb that they live in. So it's that interesting then question about, well, what is it about that factor? Other things that we see are level of people's perceived ability to actually use leftover food. So then maybe it's about teaching people how they can actually use half a capsicum, not throw it out. Yeah. So I think that's the fascinating thing for me is that extension of that idea about which people are changing and why, and therefore how can we use that for positive benefits as much as we can in the commercial setting for increasing profits.
Excellent.